black, y'all. It's Black live in Azanian, South Africa. Our national chairwoman is about to present to you about Black nationalism, Pan-Africanism in the diaspora. So get tuned in to the powerful president.
Thank you, Krystal, please.
Yes. Soweto.
Africa.
Africa. Black power.
Black power.
Black power. Our power to the people. All right, brothers and sisters, it is a privilege to be able to do a presentation on Black Panther perspective. We don't differentiate. We know that it goes one in the core regarding Black nationalism, Pan-Africanism, and I'm going to just do a perspective from those of us in the diaspora. Okay, first we're going to just take it and just give a historical perspective, okay? First of all, African people are ancient. They have bones that prove that African people are millions of years old, okay? Even in America, the original people, the oldest people in America come from Africa, okay? Mexico, they had the whole southern territory, black people. This sister right here, y'all know what that is? Queen Khali. The sister, she's got dreadlocks. That's where they get California from. We are the original people that were there, that they lied and said were Indian. Okay? So then, before they even started the transatlantic slave trade, they came, Columbus, they say, landed in Hispaniola, Haiti. Okay? How did he come? He sailed with the black people who had already sailed the seas everywhere. Our brother from West Papa, our people went to West Papa. They went to the North Pole, they found black people there. They went to South America, they found black people there. Australia, Europe, the original people of Europe. We were already here. The European, that's a whole other, where did the cracker come from? That's a whole other conference in and of itself. But it's nowhere that you can go when we were not the original people there. This enemy that we have has been warring with us for 6,000 years. It is a real life enemy. It is not just a system. It is an enemy who has created systems of imperialism, of capitalism. But it is the white race, white people who are doing this to us black original people. Because why? They have been going around plundering the land. They have committed ethnic cleansing and genocide. This is how it got from the mound. Even when you go out into Mexico, I've seen the mounds in the Aztecs. They black people on those mounds. The Mayans are black people. Oh man, that's where Mexico comes from. We are the original people. Then they came and they started killing our people that was already there. Because you cannot enslave a free people. Let's talk about the transatlantic slave trade. Once they had already went in and committed ethnic cleansing and killed as many of our people that they could in the Americas, with germ warfare, actually killing and slaughtering, they did not come to us with no presentation. They did not come to us with no propaganda. They come with bullets, weapons, chemicals, poison. This is what they do to slaughter millions of people. Then, once they had enough of a stronghold, America is a colony. It is still a British colony.
Yes.
That all the stuff that they taught us is a damn lie in school. When we pay our taxes, that money goes to Britain and the Roman Catholics.
Yes, yes.
Everything they told us is a lie. Just throw away the books. We have to create our own curriculum. Tell the truth. Everything they tell us is a lie. They stole stealing our people from here, but they didn't call this. They still, even when they kidnapped us, they had to stop right here. They had a breeding process. For 400 years, they took the children. They couldn't take the adults. They took the children and brought them over here to New Orleans, where my people are from, and told us that we was just slaves. They couldn't just take a live, grown person. That's like them kind of kidnapping me a Sharif. And be like, you about to be a slave. You're a goddamn lie. It was a long process, and it's still going on. From the West Indies. And then they brought us into the children. And it's always been rebellions. Don't get that right. So they stole us. After they stole us. So we are indigenous. Our origin is Africa. You can't get around it. But we settled around the earth. All right? The Ma'afa, okay? They reduced us to a glass. Well, I'll sell you this glass. I'll pass you this glass. Auction you up, auction us off. Our ancestors. Look. Is this any different than cattle? They call it chattel. 400 years they did this. Selling us on the auction block. This is African people. How can we not be Pan-African? But we have always had fighters. That's who we represent. In Haiti. You see? In the Americas. Harriet Tubman. You cannot go and negotiate or vote your way out of bondage. They did not say, hey, Africans, we took a vote. And the majority said you were going to be our slaves now. No. They literally put weapons, kidnapped, shackled, killed us, everything they could. And I'm still doing it. We've always had insurrections. Harriet Tubman. She didn't just go through, she had a gun. That's where we got freedom of death. We get that from Harriet Tubman. Freedom for us. Death to the oppressor. That's why our panther is Africa. And we use the panther as a unifying symbol of Africa, black people. Nat Turner, in one night, they killed 167 crackers. That's what ended slavery. That's what started the Civil War. It was many insurrections in Louisiana, in Mississippi. When black people started decapitating the Europeans' heads on the plantations, then they want to start negotiating. That's the only thing they understand. They don't give a damn about no religion. We can pray all day. They laugh at that. They don't give a damn about no protest. We don't protest. We go and demonstrate and recruit. We don't protest. We don't pull no permits. We don't ask the cracker, I'm about to come and demonstrate tomorrow. Bring us some security. No. We're revolutionaries. Black power. This comes with technology right here. To get this is during chattel slavery, they had a thing called house nigga, yard nigga, field nigga. We represent what they call the field negro. The yard negro was more dangerous than anybody. The yard negro wanted so bad to be in the house that he would cut off the people in the field. He'll come and act like he was in the field, but then go tell a cracker what's going on. That's what We have them in our movement. They are dangerous. They are very dangerous. And the house nigga was, like Barack Obama. He's a clear-cut house nigga. He was never for black people. Barack Obama was a gay president. He fought it. Only thing he did for America was get gay rights. Barack Obama was for gays, not black. He never, it's 8 years. He's about to be out there in 4 months. He ain't done nothing for black people. He came in there pushing gay rights, gay agenda, and started pumping it around the globe. He's never done anything for black people. Not one. Even when he let a few people out of prison, he let messages out. And that was on a political agenda, objective. And that ain't no different. He wasn't nothing but a house nigga at the highest order. They paid for him. The 13th Amendment. Okay, we started having insurrections. So the Europeans said, neither 13th Amendment, this is what's supposed to end slavery in 1865. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except for punishment for a crime, wherein the party shall be duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any subject to that jurisdiction. Slavery still exists. They never ended it. They just said let's create a crime. So then they create the economic conditions for crime. The 14th Amendment actually made everybody a slave, if you didn't commit a crime or not. Because it says, subjects, servants. We are subject to them. We didn't agree to this. We didn't say, oh, this is what we want. This is forced on us. Our citizenship has been forced on us. Our people, even in the 1800s, identified themselves as African. That's why we had the African Methodist Church. The African this, the African that. Then the European come up with it. They mix blooded children. So, it's always been race traders. In New Orleans, they had black, in the islands, they had black slave owners who got privilege from the cracker. Like we have now. Black skin, we call them coconuts. They're black on the outside, white on the inside. And these are the neo-colonialists, like Obama is a neo-colonialist. America is an English colony. Okay, so the 13th Amendment says you cannot be made a slave unless you commit a crime. So that's when, after 1865, in 1865, the same year they started the 13th Amendment, they came up with the black codes. This is how you create the conditions for crime. This is just some of them. They made it illegal to get a job, illegal to own land, illegal to get married. So what's going to happen? Yeah, you're free, but you can't have no land, you can't get no job. So what you going to do? You got to eat. You're going to go steal something. You stole something, boom, you're a slave. They put you back in bondage. They come up with convict leasing. Our people are still in bondage. We are still in bondage in the mass. Illegal to carry a gun, illegal to vote. These are just some of the slave colors. You can only be a farmer or a servant if you did get in trouble. That's when they started the sharecropping. Which is what's more different than slavery. We was in the field or working in the house. So that's when also they come up with the Ku Klux Klan and lynching started in the 1860s. Because prior to that, we were considered property. So if you lynched us, this other white man can kill you because you can lynch his property. It was a good. Now they have to give, this is what the genocide of those of us that was lynched. See, look at it, Sunday best. You see what I'm saying? They let 2 black men, 1 already on the ground. It's the cracker doing that. That's not capitalism, imperialism. It's the goddamn white man doing this. Then they come up with Jim Crow. You know, whites over here, blacks over here, it stopped one time. And it's still like that till today, for the most part. Blacks live over here, whites live over there. They say Sunday is the most segregated hour in America. That's when everybody go to pray with their people. So unless, you know, most blacks are gonna be over here, whites are gonna be over here. And then Monday, black people give all their money to the preacher man on Sunday, and Monday we take it to the white bank. That's what they do. All these churches we got, they can solve our problem overnight. In Houston alone, they say they bring in about 100 million in tithes a month, the black churches. And they give it to the white banks. Not just the churches, the masjids and the other religious institutions that are there too. They don't stand up against what's going on. They look at us like, oh, here come the black radicals. You show right. Black power? Okay, let's talk about the options, the movement, Pan-Africanism, the most honorable Marcus Messiah. During the time of Jim Crow and all of these things, there's always been resistance. I don't think our people have always fought against the cracker. This has been a 1,000-year war. There's always been those of us that are in here. We represent those ancestors. They keep coming back. We gotta get it right. We can't let nobody come around us and tell us, oh man, the crack. No. Pan-African movement. One God, one aim, one destiny. This is why we're here. Over here in Johannesburg, we rep Marcus Garvey. In Texas, we rep Marcus Garvey. In New Jersey, we rep Marcus Garvey. Because we understand, like we said from the beginning, we come from one nation. If Africa is not liberated, the rest of us don't stand a chance in these other colonies outside of Africa. It is our duty to assist our brothers and sisters here. It's our responsibility. Like we have to fight where we're at. Because most people don't have the financial capacity to come across the border yet. The civil rights movement. Another scheme, another scam. The civil rights movement. Okay, well, you know, because there was also, at the same time, the black separatist movement. Well, Malcolm said, coming from the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, separate. We need our own nation. Second, a part of this country, talk about North America, which we built and the indigenous of, is separate. Okay? But the civil rights people said, well, you know, let's just integrate.
It's Mandela.
You know, so they put a lot of money into the civil rights movement. They put a lot of money into that. They demonized Malcolm X. But guess what? Malcolm and Martin started meeting together. So they killed both of them. When they started having a meeting of the minds. Because if you listen to the earlier Martin, and you listen to the latter Martin, when he came to Africa, when he started talking about the conditions of our people being a international, global issue, they often. When Martin started talking about workers' rights, because they had already had him on the payroll, but he started to come over to the dark side. You know? Same way with Malcolm. Malcolm he understood what was going on with us in the continent, or in the diaspora in America. But then he came to the continent, and they started seeing that our plight is the same. It's like, I can see down here today. You even come in this weekend. I'm like, damn. The same stuff we going through, y'all going through in South Africa. I turn on the TV, the same coonanery on the TV, like we got coonanery in America. I talked to the curator in Uganda, they said they got the same thing, they get a white education. I was thinking like, I'm in Uganda, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get that, we have to connect with each other. To find out it's the same, we got the same enemy. They using the same tactics on us. And we got to be retarded to keep going for it. For real. We cannot keep going for it, not on our watch. Somebody got to stand up. And I'm sorry, we don't got no to 2099 like the brother said. We don't. And we young people, we can't expect all people to do it. Look, that's the punk ass people want the elders to do it. It's on our watch. And you can be, it's a line drawn in the sand. Either with us or against us. Period. Either for black liberation or you for the cracker. There's no gray area. There's no gray area. You for black liberation globally or you for imperialism. Simple. No, we're making excuses for the white man. That's just weak. It's just plain weak. There's always been resistance. They killed Martin, the Prince of Peace. Non-violent resistance. They shot him in the head. They shot him in the chest. For going to, when he was getting ready to go do a protest, he walked out the balcony and made sure he was there. Not only did they have Oswald, they had CIA, they had FBI, they had 5 different, or was it 3 different officers to make sure he didn't go make that speech. So, up comes the Black Panther Party, the Black Power movement, armed resistance. Just like back in the times of 1865, when Nat Turner, Denmark Basin, and all the other freedom fighters took arms against the oppressor. That's the only thing the cracker understands. You cannot appeal to his moral understanding. He's an amoral being. You cannot appeal to his leveling. He is on that no treaty ever existed. Anything he's ever signed, he's preached.
I want some free.
Okay, so people was against, I forgot to put the political prisoners. Many of these people, Bobby Hutton was killed, Huey P. Newton was kidnapped, put in jail, Bobby Seals had a white wife. It's sad. So we gotta keep going. I look to continue. But as we live, this is our current situation. After 50 years, we live in an integrated, assimilated society. And this is a third of our population is in jail. Have anything changed since the 1800s? No. 1600s, no. Still slavery. 13th Amendment, you can't make a slave unless you commit a crime. Still slavery exists. This is what the police do. This is the case here right now. 2 months ago in Beaumont, he's supposed to have been stealing out of Walmart. They whipped him bloody. Still, we're dealing with lynchings right now. This is a lynching we did with 2 years ago. This is a brother right here. They cut his ears off, tongue out, throat out. The FBI said he committed suicide. They said this man lynched hanging from a tree committed suicide. He got a bag on his head. This is what we living in America. Don't tell me nothing about no damn cracker system. So we got solutions. The Black Panther, blue Black Panther Party. We got it. We still on that. Black Power. I mean, we have to take it down. I mean, we're going to keep tiptoeing around the tulips. We have to repatriation, yes, we do need to come back to the motherland. Yes, Black Power. We do need reparations for Blacks in America and in Africa. These crackers owe us everything they got. What do you got? Your money, mama, we don't care. Give us your planes, trains, automobiles, everything you got. Empty out your pockets. What you got? Everything they got, they owe to us. We must be strong and move forward on our reparations movement. And of course, in us demanding reparations and repatriation, the cracker not gonna go down without no fight. Revolution is a solution. After we win our revolution, and then we already know how we're gonna have a Ubuntu. We already had the cracker didn't invent, what's that? The cracker didn't invent socialism. They stole that from us. We do that now. We've been doing this since we've been here, right? We don't have to be taught what to do. We already know what to do. We just have to get the fear out of our heart. And if you're afraid, that's fine. Get out of our way. It's okay to be afraid. Be honest about it. Just get out of our way. Give us some money or something. Give us some money if you're afraid, so we can help fund this revolution. Black Power. Black Power.
Black Power, I just heard it live. Our chairwoman, Sister Krystal Muhammad, dropping knowledge all the way in South Africa and Zania to build the Black Power movement, to build Pan-Africanist movement worldwide. You heard it yourselves.